Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive, and I'm Meghna Dekar. Well, viewers, Pakistan's double game isn't new, but this time it's being exposed so hard that even its own narrative is literally slipping and sliding apart. On one hand, Pakistan holds funerals for terrorists. It is waging a war on Afghanistan where it's killing children and women, and it is plotting terror strikes on India. And on the other hand, the same terroristan is now preaching West Asia about world peace, hosting a so-called peace huddle to end the war in West Asia. And right in the middle of this contradiction, Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar slips and falls as gravity strikes. This happened while he was welcoming global leaders at the Islamabad Peace Summit to end the war in Iran. The bigger picture, really, this particular image is actually symbolic. It is symptomatic of Pakistan's hypocrisy, Pakistan's slippery diplomacy, where no one can trust Pakistan and the slippery slate that it has been called often. This is the slippery Pakistan and their duplicitous face being ripped apart. A country that continues to be linked with terror ecosystems suddenly positions itself as a peacemaker. That's the irony of it all. This evening, we will one by one expose the cracks in Islamabad's fake image and tell you how irony died 1,000 deaths when terroristan said that it's in favor of peace. Well, from Delhi Mandir plots to global embarrassment to being snubbed on the world stage, Pakistan is completely exposed, and that's what we are going to ask. Is Pakistan losing credibility faster than it can manufacture the narratives? Has it gone down the slippery slope of diplomacy? Well, let's show you these visuals. On your screens, we are going to show you the striking reality. Funeral for a Jaish-e-Mohammed chief, Masood Azhar's brother, Tahir Anwar, in Pakistan, is going to be something which we are getting for you. This is what's happening in Pakistan's Bahawalpur. You have funerals being held for terrorists, such as the brother of Masood Azhar, after he reportedly died under mysterious circumstances. We don't know who killed him. We don't know how this man died. We just know that he was killed. He was, of course, the brother of Masood Azhar, the mastermind of several terror attacks, including the Parliament terror attack, the Pahalgam terror attacks, and many more in India. This man played a key role within Jaish-e-Mohammed. He was actively involved in terrorist outfits operations. His brother Masood Azhar, listed as an international terrorist by the UNSC, has been involved in conspiracy behind multiple terror attacks that I was telling you about. And yet, there is today a funeral which is going to be held for the brother of Masood Azhar, who is also a terrorist of the Jaish-e-Mohammed. And yet, you have Pakistan says that it wants to bring in peace, to broker peace in the world, even holding a peace conference in Islamabad to try and bring peace across in West Asia. Let's show you another example. The second example, remember Shabir Lone, an arrested Pakistani handler. He was tasked with recruiting and radicalizing Bangladeshi nationals illegally who were staying in India. Now, this man, in coordination with Lashkar-e-Toiba, of course, Lashkar-e-Toiba in Pakistan, as well as Pakistan's state intelligence agency, the ISI, also known as its terrorist front, was actually planning a major terrorist strike in India under the director of foreign handlers. And one of his targets was our temples, the temples in the national capital of Delhi. Let me tell you what the peacemaker of Pakistan actually had plotted against India. This plot was foiled after the arrest of this man, but what exactly it is that Shabir Lone has revealed in his interrogation, let's take you through. This is what he had said. A Pakistani handler, Shabir's anti-India plot is now out. That he had planned strikes on temples across Delhi. That he surveyed key religious sites. All of them were on radar. What was he looking at? They were wrecking the Kalkaji Mandir in Delhi. They were wrecking the Lotus Temple in Mandir as well as the Chhatarpur Mandir in Delhi. Why? You can just imagine. They shot videos. He in fact shot videos of the Connaught Place as well, the heart of Delhi. Shabir Lone also sent footage to Pakistan after surveys were being held, and he sent it across to the ISI to plot terror attacks against Delhi, the temples in Delhi, and even Connaught Place. Now the ugliest face of Pakistan on your screens, Pakistan's bloody war against Afghanistan. And this is the inhumane face of Pakistan. An army too scared to fight soldiers that it's targeting. Not soldiers, not infrastructure, but innocent civilians. They are literally targeting women. They are targeting children because they are too scared to go out and fight. And the battlefield, led by their failed marshal, Asif Munir. Reports are suggesting that over 185 Afghan civilians have been killed so far in indiscriminate strikes by Pakistan. And nearly 55% of these victims were women and children. Pakistan has been killing women and children at the Afghan border, and yet it wants to hold a peace conference to bring peace in West Asia. The crisis has also triggered off massive displacement, with the UN Refugee Agency reporting that 115,000 people have been displaced within Afghanistan, and another 3,000 people have been displaced across Pakistan, and yet the same country wants to position itself as a mediator for peace in the Middle East. That's the irony, which has died 1,000 deaths. Let's also tell you about Pakistan's killing machine. Let's tell you the specifics of what they are doing on their Afghan border and how they are killing children. In Khost, Pakistan shelling has killed 4 civilians. These are not military men, these are not army men. Civilians have been targeted and killed in Afghanistan's coast. Second, Kabul and Kandahar. You know what's happening there? Pakistan is carrying out airstrikes. And in these airstrikes, we don't have the exact numbers, 5 to 10 civilians have been killed. Those are the rough estimates. In the Kabul Rehabilitation Center, a medical center, that is what Pakistan struck in its airstrike. And it killed 143 people, including patients, doctors, people who were working at medical centers were butchered by Pakistan and Afghanistan. There are also border clashes, where Pakistan is raining bullets. Artillery fire has killed several people, including 1 civilian. But unfortunately, Afghanistan has said that women and children are amongst those who have been injured. This is the true face of Pakistan that you must now watch. You may be wondering, who are these attendees of the peace summit that Pakistan now wants to have in Islamabad for peace? Forget about what it's doing on its borders. Let's tell you about Pakistan's peace summit. The proxy peace summit is what I should call it, because none of the main warring nations were part of this peace summit. All you had were proxies that Pakistan invited because it felt irrelevant. FOMO, as this new generation says, the fear of missing out, that it had FOMO, that it is missing out on the mediation level, which is why Pakistan calls all these people. The Saudi Arabia's Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud, he's the foreign minister of Saudi Arabia. He was invited. Saudi Arabia, remember, is one of the places which has seen shelling, but not one of the active combatants in this. The active combatants, of course, is America, Israel, and Iran. Then you have Turkey, which was also invited to this. You have the foreign minister of Turkey as well as the foreign minister of Egypt who were invited for this. In addition to that, you had other nations as well. But the point is, none of the actual nations, the 3 combatants, were part of this. The irony, the main players, all 3 of them, completely missing in this. They were caught lying to the US as well. Remember, Pakistan had positioned itself as a mediator, tried to bring peace amidst war is what they had said. However, it was laughed off. Pakistan was literally laughed off by Iran, saying we reject Pakistan's mediation role. Pakistan's forums are there alone. There's no direct talks with the US. Essentially, Iran is saying we don't even know what Pakistan is holding, where it's holding these peace talks. We're not part of it. Israel too has come out and said, forget about getting mediation by Pakistan. They said Pakistan is the problem, saying Pakistan's problem in the world of jihadi terrorism It can't handle its own problems. How will Pakistan mediate peace? Saying that we don't know what Pakistan is doing. Why is it trying to make itself relevant? As I was telling you, FOMO. Listen into what Israel has to say.
I don't know what the Pakistanis think they're doing. I think they're trying to make themselves relevant. They are themselves a huge problem in the world of jihadi terrorism. But, you know, they can try. I'm not sure they'll be very successful. I think they just want to shove themselves in the middle of something relevant at the moment.
Israel just said that Pakistan is trying desperately to keep itself relevant. In fact, American singer, political commentator Mary Miliband, she has reminded her own country of Pakistan's reality and made this appeal to President Trump. Let's tell you what Mary Miliband has to say. This is what she said. Why would US consider Pakistan as a host? She goes on to say, don't forget that Pakistan's role in 9/11, how it had played a role orchestrating it, saying Pakistan verified in the global terrorism as well. It is a verified global terrorist, saying Pakistan is a terrorist country hosting Iran, saying that Pakistani government is delusional. Pakistan is a key problem in the world of terrorism. Why become cozy with a terrorist country? Our strongest democratic partner is India. This is the reminder that Mary Miliband has given to President Trump as he cozies up with Pakistan, Shehbaz Sharif and the failed Marshal Asim Munir. In fact, a recent US congressional report has also exposed Pakistan. If we need more people to endorse what we are telling you here, US congressional report has flagged serious concerns over Terroristan, saying that they are harboring terror on their soil. What does it say? That terrorists are operating on Pakistani soil. It also says Pakistan is a base of militant groups, that India targeted terror is a major issue, that India is being targeted by Pakistan. US's congressional report also says that Pakistan is a hub for Jaish and Lashkar. We all know that. Now you have it in black and white. Also that Pakistan harbors a group who want Jammu and Kashmir to be annexed. This is not our report. This is not what India is saying. This is what a US congressional report has said. And finally, I'm going to leave you with this interesting statement coming in by US President Donald Trump, where he says he likes to be around losers. You'd ask, why is that important? Well, we are not going to tell you why it's important, but it gives you a mindset of why he wants to be surrounded with losers, like perhaps the Pakistani leaders. We don't know. Why don't you listen in and decide for yourself?
They have a lot of losers. I always like to hang around with losers, actually, because it makes me feel better. I hate guys that are very, very successful, and you have to listen to their success stories. I like people that like to listen to my success.
Let me go across to our panelists. Joining us today on the show, Dr. Atikur Rahman, Professor of International Relations. Also joining us, Nikhil Chandwani. Thank you so much, Professor Atikur Rahman. I'm going to be coming across to you first. First question. What is Pakistan playing at? Now you have held a peace conference where none of the three warring nations were present, where Israel has come and made fun of Pakistan, saying that take care of your jihadi terrorists first, then you come and try and preach peace to us. Is it Pakistan's FOMO moment?
We didn't say that we are going to invite the competitor, the actual competitor of the conflict, but we have invited the people to start the multilateral diplomacy to resolve this conflict, as we have done in case of Doha peace agreement. So if international community is accepting our peace efforts,
who's the international community? Israel is very clear. US is not talking about Pakistan. You have President Trump saying, I like to surround myself with losers. Who's the loser here? Dr. Atikur Rahman, who's the loser here?
The international community is coming, and we are very much happy. The leaders of the Muslim world are coming. They are appreciating our efforts, and I think our initiative is very much appreciated by the entire international community.
Who? They said that take care of your jihadi terrorists first.
And on the jihadi, this is your perspective.
No, this is Israel's perspective. This is Israel's perspective. Israel has said, let Pakistan take care of its own jihadi terrorists.
They are appreciating, everybody is appreciating Pakistan's role.
Who's everybody?
In the South Asia.
US congressional report says Pakistan is harboring terror.
In case of Afghanistan, we received appreciation.
Mary Miliband has said, stop fraternizing with
We are
Pakistan.
again going to receive the appreciation.
Israel has said
They are receiving appreciation.
Pakistan should take care of its own jihadi terrorists.
Stop using.
Acha, what is Iran saying?
Please,
What is Iran saying?
please stop using the selective
Dr.
use of-
Atikur Rahman, what is Iran saying? Do you know what Iran is saying? Perhaps you don't know. Let me tell you. Iran has said that we don't know who Pakistan is talking to. They're not talking to us. They are holding their own summit. Let them hold their own private summit. Me and my two friends
We
can
are just
sit, have a discussion on West Asia. But that doesn't mean you are solving anyone's problem. People are laughing at you.
Our position, we are consolidating the potential of the Muslim world, the diplomatic potential of the Muslim world. Yes, we are going.
You
to
are
reach out to
bombing
the
Muslim
competitors,
worlds.
United States and
You are killing
United
Afghans.
States
Are they
and
not
Iran.
Muslims?
We are going to-
You want to be the
we
leader
will-
of Muslim
we will-
world?
we will
Stop
talk
the
with them.
butchery in
And
Kashmir.
presently they have
Stop the
appreciated.
butchery in Afghanistan.
I think
You want to
have
lead
made-
the Muslim
I
world?
think-
Stop killing.
I
Stop your own
think
killing
We
machines.
were the one regarding Afghanistan. We were the one who.
You
resolved the
killing
conflict.
children in
We were the one who
Afghanistan. You are
facilitated
killing
the Doha
women in
Agreement.
Afghanistan.
We are the one who facilitated the Doha Agreement. That is
Nikhil
appreciated by the entire
Chandwani,
world.
the killers of little children, those who are butchering women on the Afghan border, plotting attacks on Indian temples, are today peacemakers by their own profession. They have called themselves the peacemakers of the world. Irony is dying here, and how?
मेघना मैम, हमारे भारत में सुबह सुबह मुर्गे की आवाज से हम नहीं उठते हैं। हम उठते हैं एक अलार्म से, जो है गाड़ी वाला आया घर से कचरा निकाल। हमारी सफाई कर्मचारी रोज सुबह ये गाना बजाते हैं और यही अलार्म यूएस में बज रहा है, यही अलार्म यूरोप में बज चुका है और ईरान भी समझ गया है। वर्ल्ड का कूड़ा कचरा हमारे भारत का एक नाजायज बेटा है जिसका नाम है पाकिस्तान और बिखारिस्तान। Does Pakistan really think Israel gives a damn about you? Israelis consider you worse than Iran. Israelis know you are a terror state and they hate you as much as we, the Indians hate you. Israel and India, we stand together against Pakistan.
Stop using profane language. You are a professor. You're supposed to be a learned man. You're using abuses. Why? You're running out of words. You're running out of excuses. Atikur Rahman, you're a professor. थोड़ा शर्म कर लीजिए. आप शर्म कर लीजिए या आपका कंट्री शर्म करे, कोई तो शर्म करे. Because we are embarrassed with your kind of profane language that you've decided to use. I will have to mute you. I'm going to request the audio person to put your audio up, and I will request you not to use profane languages. The way your profane acts have been exposed in front of the world, at least language to aap saaf rakhiye. Go ahead, Nikhil.
Absolutely. Pakistan, it's all about begging, harboring terrorism. They are killing Hindus, Balochis and Sikhs, and they are pretending to negotiate with those superpowers who consider Pakistan a stinkhole. That's Pakistan for you. And the fake news about Pakistan being the negotiator, they are global bikharis after suffering multiple defeats at the hands of India, watching their economy go into a terminal tailspin and getting hammered by Afghanis on their own borders. The terror sponsoring Pakistan, they have found a new calling. Their latest claim, they want to play great negotiator between Iran and Israel. I want to debunk this right now. Let's look at reality. Both Iran and Israel hold more contempt for Islamabad than they do for each other. Pakistan is a regime that has seen the targeted killings of more
Absolutely.
than almost
Atikur Rahman, look at the countries you've called. Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt. The three main combatants are not even there in your peace summit. आप किससे बात करके आए हैं? Atikur Rahman.
We know to whom we talk. We know the people we invited. We know the leader we invited. We do not need
Why
your
did you
dictation.
invite the three
We
main
do not
players?
need your dictation.
Why
We
did
do
you
not
invite the
need
three
your
main players, or you
manipulation.
invited, they rejected your invite?
We do not
Who will go to
need your
Pakistan?
explanation. We know what we are doing and we know the way we will do. At least we are better than a country who is headed by a butcher of Gujarat. We are better than a country who is completely.
It is ironic that you are talking about this at a time when you have used profanities. You agree that yes, indeed, the three main countries who are at the main combatants, you're not even going to that. The fact that Pakistan is holding its own peace summit when it is being accused and laughed off as a terrorist. Unfortunately, we are out of time. Thank you so much, Atikur Rahman, as well as Nikhil Chandwani, for joining us.